imagine you won't know much until later this week, but wanted to just check on that ankle and whether this week is in play for him to come back and play at all.
Well, as tough as he is, I think there's a chance. He's in a boot right now. Probably he and Ryan are going to go all the way to Friday before we know anything true. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Thank you.
We'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, along the same lines of the injuries, it looked like Levante and JPP and Shaq Barrett may have been on a little bit of a pitch count. How did those guys respond when they went out there and played? How'd those injuries look?
Yeah, they all played good. Shaq didn't look hurt when he was running with that ball. Levante is not as sore as he thought he'd be today. JPP's fine. They all had the good rotation going. They all played about 30, 35 plays. Except Levante played more. But.
And back to Ryan, can you just speak to the fact that, he looked like he suffered a pretty significant injury, and that the fact that he was able to go out there and finish the game, just what can you say about that performance?
Oh, just mental toughness is off the charts. He's as tough a dude as there is playing this game. And, that thing was going to have to be broken for him not to go back in.
Wow. Thank you.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Hey, Bruce, you've said this a couple times, and I think we know what you mean, but if you could expand on it. Once Tom Brady figures you out, you're in trouble. I don't know that he spends any more time in the postseason, but he played a team that he had played earlier this year. Can you just kind of expand on what you mean by Brady?
Yeah, everybody's got something new, each and every week, how they're going to try to defend us. And, I thought we had we had two game plans. One if the weather didn't change, and then one if the weather did. Obviously, we got the one we liked the most, and that's the no huddle. And just doing a really good job with short intermediate passes, getting it out of his hands, knowing they're going to play soft. And I thought Byron did a great job of running the ball and making them stop the run, which opened up a couple of guys one-on-one.
Right. And I'm curious, like the no huddle, the up tempo, we've seen that, from you a couple of times to start games. Is that just to get the energy going, or you want to keep them in the same defense? You want to use that
a little bit of both. Tire out that defensive line quick as much as we can. But when you look back and do the self-scout, that's when we've been at our best this year.
Right.
And so why not do it more?
Sure. Thanks.
Ira Kaufman.
Hey, Bruce, considering what's going on with Tristan and Ryan, what's your level of concern with pass protection, Bruce? There were a few breakdowns yesterday.
Yeah, I thought Josh Wells, other than the one bull rush, I thought he played really good because he was playing on a bad leg too. But our inside guys got beat on a couple of twists that shouldn't have happened, and misread what they thought they were going to do, and we turned the guy loose. But easily things to correct.
And Bruce, tomorrow, Rondé Barber is going to have his case heard for the Hall of Fame selectors. What do you want to say about Rondé Barber as a Hall of Fame candidate?
Nobody has numbers like him. His numbers are unbelievable. The fact he never missed a game, played with a broken arm, all the things that he did, basically inventing that nickel position, blitzing, interceptions, even as a corner. He was one of the best corners in that defense that I've played against him enough times. But to me, he doesn't even have to have a speech. I know you're going to do a hell of a job, brother, but his numbers are unbelievable.
Thanks, Bruce.
We'll go to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Bruce, for as long as you've been coaching, is this version of this team where you've had to plug in pieces because nobody gets through a season unscathed, but the amount of injuries and the way that they have been plugged in, and to have the record and to be standing where you're standing and to have had the dominant win you had yesterday, is this the best version of a team that you've seen be able to do that and compensate for what you don't have?
Yeah, we've had a lot of injuries in the past, but we ended up 8-8. This to be 14-4 with everything that's going on, it's just a credit to the coaching staff, but more so to the players and Jason Light and everybody having this roster, and we talked in the locker room after the game. You put that Bucs helmet on, there's a level of expectation, and it's not you can't be the guy you're replacing. You just got to be the best guy that you can be. And these guys have all stepped in when they've got these opportunities and done it.
Go to Joey Knight.
Coach, just for clarity, is Josh Wells okay to go this week? We saw him limping around a little bit.
We'll have to wait and see on that one too. He got a pretty good quad problem, and we just have to wait and see.
And Devin White played pretty well. He looked to be all over the place yesterday. Did he just benefit from having those other guys back in the lineup complimenting him?
I think that, and just he wasn't trying to force it. I think when those guys are all out, he thinks he has to make every play and gets caught up in it. But this one, just, hey, do your job. And, man, he was all over the field. It's one of his best games.
John Ledyard.
Coach, you mentioned yesterday Mike Edwards playing well, but I'm just curious, what is Mike Edwards' specific injury? Is he dealing with a couple of things?
He's got a shoulder elbow issue. Got stung pretty good on that one punt protection. But he's tough too, man. He's not going to miss any time. And yeah, Mike had one of his best games too.
And I know you guys were dealing with a couple issues at corner going into the game. Carlton Davis at the back and Jamel Dean was a little bit banged up. Just wondering if those guys came out of the game okay. Any concerns with them moving forward?
No. They got big smiles on their face. That was Jamel Dean's probably best game as a Buck.
Thanks, Bruce.
Tom Krasnicki.
Bruce, we all know your offense is tailored to throw the football. Yesterday, you passed it 37 times, but you ran it 31 times. Was that just a byproduct of a game-specific type of game plan, or is that the kind of balance that you want to achieve moving forward?
Yeah, you'd love to be 50-50, especially for the first three quarters. Then the fourth quarter dictates, how much you're running it, how much you're throwing it by the score. But I thought we had established the run early. And it helped a bunch of things in the passing game. But, yeah, I love the balance.
And with the running game, does Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones have a good shot of returning this week?
Again, I've got to wait and see if Lenny can open up full speed. Rojo still isn't cutting, so we'll know more by Thursday on both those guys.
Thank you, Bruce.
John Romano.
Hey, Bruce, after the game yesterday, Gronk said that there's never been a quarterback better at throwing underneath, dumping the ball off, taking what the defense gives than Brady. Just curious, as a guy like yourself who has watched offense for 40 years in the league, just how enjoyable is it to watch that sort of cat and mouse game between Brady and the defense?
Yeah, it's fun, man. That's the most fun there is for me in this game. It was calling plays, but watching your quarterback, don't get caught up with who's catching the ball. Just throw it to the guys that are open and don't force it downfield because you can get just as many yards dinking and dunking making first downs. And it's watching him play. He's a surgeon. Like I said, he's going to figure you out. If you're going to play two deep shell, if you're rotating, he'll figure all that out real quick. And then it's hard on the defense. That's for sure.
Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, you guys had a look on defense. You rarely see Levante come off the field, but you guys had kind of a dime look with Whitehead kind of in as a dime linebacker, if you will. Just want to ask you if that was just prompted by Trent Ezagades and Levante and how well you liked it. It seemed to work well in third and long.
Yeah, I mean, Levante's a great cover guy, but we needed to get him off the field. We didn't need maybe 66 snaps out of him. And it was a way to get him off the field, something to help us out.
Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, tackles don't grow on trees. With Josh Wells banged up too, how concerned are you about the depth at your tackle position?
Very today. Hopefully not as much Wednesday and Thursday, but very, very concerned about it today because we were going to have to put Kappa at tackle and Stinney at guard early in the first quarter in that game. And thank God Josh just gutted it out.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Bruce, how will you attack the night? I mean, you get to watch the Cardinals and the Rams play live. I would think you're very happy about being home. They have a short week. What's your thoughts about either or both of those teams?
I mean, yeah, that should be a whale of a game. That's for sure. They're two great quarterbacks, ton of skill out there, a ton of speed out there, and two really good defenses. So it'll be interesting. It's normally you know who you're playing today and you're working on your game plan. So since last Friday, we've been breaking down three different teams. Now it's down to two. And we'll have two game plans set tonight and basic game plans. And then by the morning, we'll be finalizing on who we're playing.
Steve Isbitz.
Coach, just a little bit more into that. How do you actually divide that up? Like, how does it all work? Do you have certain staff that focuses specifically on certain teams and has something done up by the time the game's over?
Yeah, we have different guys have different assignments on blitzes, run game, substitution patterns, secondary coverages. Each guy's got a handle on his assignment. They bring it all to Byron, and he puts it all together. Same thing with Todd. They do a collaboration of everything. So we've got both teams broken down that way, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Evan Winter.
Hey, Coach, think we'll see more of that no-huddle offense if Tristan Wirfs can't go, and even especially if Josh Wells can't go?
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, if they're both out, it'll be a different type of game plan, that's for sure. But because this is two tremendous outside pass rushers that we're going to be facing, so on either team, and we'll just have to game plan it for them.
Casey Hudson.
Hey, Coach, with you guys having the next man up mentality, we're obviously seeing a lot of players that probably wouldn't have gotten as much time or reps this season. What are the biggest developments that you've seen out of Mike Edwards and Jamel Dean? And is there a player that actually surprised you the most this season?
Yeah, it's been great performances by almost everybody that's got their opportunity. Boy, it'd be hard to pick out one. I think Jamel Dean's made great progress. For sure. That was by far his best game. I think everybody's seeing what I've always known about Keyshawn Vaughn, that he's a legit player. And, you know, the receivers, they've all stepped in and did their job. So they're really one person, it'd be hard to find.
We have time for a few more. We'll go to Greg Auman.
Bruce, I want to ask you about you guys had a goal line look with 4 tight ends that I don't think I've seen from you this season. Gronk called it the Jacks package. I don't know if that's correct, but just want to ask you, it worked well. You got 2 touchdowns in 2 plays.
Yeah, I mean, we very seldom get in goal line offense anymore. We practice it every Friday. Probably the last one I remember was the Super Bowl, and we didn't make it. So we don't get in it that much. But no, they were blocked. Both plays were executed extremely well.
Thank you.
We'll go to Jenna Ling.
Hey, Coach. I think you briefly touched on this last night. Your interaction with Andrew Adams. I know you kind of swatted at his helmet and all there. Can you just kind of take us through that? And was it regrettable at all for you, the fact that you actually made contact with his helmet?
No. And I've seen enough dumb. You can't pull guys out of a pile. We just got a big play, great field position, and he's trying to pull a guy out of a pile, and I was trying to knock him off that guy so he didn't get a penalty.
Steve Isbitz.
Coach, are you rooting for Arizona tonight, given your ties there and how much the folks still love you over there?
It's hard, man, and it'd be harder playing them because I do have so many good friends out there, and I never like playing against friends. But yeah, I mean, I'm not rooting for anybody. I just want to, find out who the heck we're playing. We know when and where, so let's get it on.
And last question will come from Rick Stroud.
Bruce, I know that Tom getting rid of the ball every week is fast. I think yesterday was even faster. He said that he knows where it's going before it's snapped. You mentioned he can see the rotation. I mean, does he truly predict or anticipate exactly where that ball is going pre-snap?
Yeah, he's extremely good at that, and it might not be to the guy, but he knows the combination. And as soon as the ball snaps, that combination, he deciphers it right now, which one's getting it. And that's as simple as you can make the game for a quarterback, but a lot of them can't process that information, brother.
All right, that's all we have time for. Appreciate you taking the time, Coach.
Thank you, guys.